The boss of ANZ Bank has voiced her support for a capital gains tax. Antonia Watson says it would be a fair way to tax another part of income in New Zealand. But as Zane Small reports, the chief executive has been accused of having an ulterior motive.
Mona Ho purchased an apartment in Auckland in 2020 as an investment property. 2 years later, she leveraged against it and bought her first home.
It is still one of the most safe and secure investment you can have in New Zealand.
And it's not hard to figure out why that is.
Capital gains are tax-free.
New Zealand does not have a comprehensive capital gains tax. But the chief executive of our largest bank has told RNZ the time has come.
In this country, people are investing in housing for the purpose of getting a capital gain on it. And if that's the purpose of it, why not have that as part of the tax take?
She's more than welcome to enter the political domain. As a former CEO, I understand what she's doing. But the point I'd say to you is, look, the big Australian banks make a lot of money off the New Zealand public. And I would just suggest to her that maybe taking more money off New Zealanders isn't the way forward.
A spokesperson from ANZ's communications team told us the chief executive wouldn't do any further interviews on this topic and stressed that the views expressed by their boss, Antonia Watson, were made in a personal capacity and were not those of the bank which she runs. It's a policy Labour has tried many times to get across the line, but ultimately failed.
Under my leadership, we will no longer campaign for or implement a capital gains tax. Not because I don't believe in it, but because I don't believe New Zealand does.
Though the party is not giving up.
Certainly time for Labor to be having conversations about progressive tax policy, and we have been doing that, and a capital gains tax is not off the table.
If you're wondering what a capital gains tax is, here's a basic example. If you purchase a property for $500,000 and 5 years later you sell it for $600,000, that $100,000 profit you made is known as capital gains. And that's what would be taxed. The thing is, we already have something pretty close. It's known as the Bright Line test. If an investment property is sold within 2 years, income tax must be paid on the profit.
We do actually have a capital gains tax here. It's just not as comprehensive as other countries.
Mona Ho understands why there are calls for a capital gains tax.
Gains you get from buying and selling property, and let's be honest, it's often quite a lot of your powder for 10 or 20 years. It's basically a tax-free gains.
But she also understands it's tax-free gains she would miss out on if what the ANZ chief executive suggested comes to fruition.